Hello everyone. Yes, I know I did this list before, but not as good as the Grand Bull or Red Runner. Anyway, Vegeta versus Gogeta is the season finale of Death Battle Season 9. Before the next characters get revealed, I honestly want to do this video on my top 10 most winning Death Battles for 2023. The characters have to be from the different series. There's only going to be one same series fight on here. Technically. Yeah, thanks to Vegeta versus Gogeta. They're technically from the same universe. And I'm surprised that they're doing that. Hey, they have to be from a different universe. Anyway, I'm kind of getting tired of talking about the intro. So, okay, here are a couple rules. They have to be from a different series. They have to be similar in more than one way. It has to not be a stomp. And it has to be, a fight that's in the mid tier of requested. But there is going to be at least one highly requested fight on here. Oh, Group versus Megamind, Bowser versus Eggman. And any finale predictions are immediately off the list. Anyway, let's start the list already. Shall we? I got to say, there are a lot of matchups for Joker. And my personal favorite is a very unexpected one. One that is the most popular. Some fans of that might be saying, huh? So, yeah. I like Joker. One, because he's a very cool character. And two, Ben considered bringing him to the battle one day. So, he might come into Death Battle next season. Because he's for sure not going to be coming in this season. Because, the finale is already confirmed. Anyway, who will this masked thief be fighting? And no. This isn't a mask. This is more like a source of his persona. His persona, I think it basically comes if he takes off the mask. Originally, when he took off the mask, blood would just go gushing everywhere. Skin came off of his face. Man, it had so many effects. Anyway, let's see who he will be fighting. Bayonetta versus Joker. Two people that wear black. Both of them use guns in battle. Both of them have an assistant, which is basically targeted by a source. Oh, and both of them have an assistant. Anyway, let's talk about Joker's and Bayonetta's other matchups. Joker versus Giorno is a very popular matchup, but it's a huge stomp for Joker. JoJo fans, better stop saying that Giorno stomps. Because he doesn't. According to Google, Joker wins immediately, even without his persona. So, yeah. Joker immediately stomps. Sly Cooper is another option, but it's technically a 2-on-1. That just leaves V-Lout and Bayonetta. V-Lout is some people's preferred matchup. But V-Loat would eat stuff. while Joker shoots stuff. So the dynamic of the fight is a little bit awkward. That just leaves Bayonetta. And boy, are her matchups huge. She fought Dante, and she has a much better matchup. Anyway, Morgan also exists, but Bayonetta is not a bat. She's a witch, and I really don't get that fight at all. That just leaves Joker, and this is admittedly an even fight. Anyway, I like the idea, not because it's even, but it's a Smash character versus a Smash character, and we have not seen that at all on the show, except Sonic versus Mario twice, and King Dedede versus Wario, and that's about it. Mario versus Sonic was a rematch, so that's technically one fight from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Anyway, who do I think would come out on top? I think that Joker would, but I see Bayonetta winning. Well, she has a chance. Because, giant hands. Are you kidding me? And plus, she can summon a demon. And, well, yes, there's also a Power Rangers character, but yeah, I think it is interesting. I just don't really get the fight, nor do I know the Power Ranger. So that's immediately off the list. So, yeah. Again, Giorno is a stomp. I don't know who I prefer for Giorno now, but Giorno is completely weaker than Joker. Sly Cooper also has Rouge. Velote has Ragna. So, yeah. This is admittedly the best for both, in my opinion. Someone on my previous list said that Golden versus Lucas will not happen because Izuku Midoriya versus Golden exists. Oh, and I'm in the way of making a full debunking video, at least like 10 minutes long, about how it's debunked. But I'll talk about it a little bit in this video. Asta has fought magic users, and the battles I fought mostly have outside help. Yeah, I watched online My Hero Academia. This battle really got me interested in the show. But I'm not going to stop watching My Hero Academia and start watching DBZ Super and DBZ. Well, I already have. I'm in the middle of making my prediction video right now. Anyway, who do I think would... Okay, I think that Joker should come out on top. Joker has the real guns. Bayonetta realistically should win. She has a demon. She has the bigger limbs, more experience, and could just overpower Joker, giving her the win. So, that was a lot of tingling with the very first matchup. Anyway, what about the second matchup? It's kind of like a meh for a character. Anyway, if this were to happen, I would be so happy. I don't want it to be Giorno because it's a stomp. I think that's the only reason why people like that fight, because it's a massive stomp. And I think their only similarity is teenagers with a partner with them. But yeah. Tis a season to be jolly. La 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 la. Sorry, I'm saying that. Anyway, Bayonetta has more guns, the better sidekick, and overall better abilities than Joker, giving her the win. Ooh, that was a doozy tangling the first matchup. And that was over 5 minutes long. Yeah, this might be my longest video to date. Anyway, let's go on to a spooky fight. That is not Willy versus Fleagle. My favorite FNAF character has to be Freddy. But since I'm not doing Freddy, there's literally no fight for him for now. And of course, Huggy Wuggy's admittedly off the list. that just leaves Springtrap. Springtrap has a lot of matchups. One, it immediately stands out in my opinion. It is even, and it is just a masterpiece, man. It is a freaking masterpiece. But anyway, who shall the resurrected child killer fight? And for you that have only seen Freddy Krueger, you might be surprised. Anyway, okay, so Springtrap immediately it has to be my favorite FNAF character. That should have been the intro. Dang it. But anyway, Springtrap has to be one of the more popular FNAF characters. Yes, I will be giving him the face that he did as William Afton, because, William Afton is Springtrap. Anyway, Springtrap is about to step into the ring. And who will his opponent be? Well, we're about to see. Anyway, let's get the wheel out. Get the spinner. Slap some fighters on it. And spin the wheel to see who wins. Or, not who wins. Who wins the title of the best Springtrap opponent, in my opinion. Anyway, let's spin the wheel and see who Springtrap will be facing today. Jeff the Killer versus Springtrap. Dio Brando versus Springtrap makes no sense and is a stomp for Dio. Michael Myers already had his best matchup, though some people say it's a stomp. I immediately have to disagree. Well, there is another option, and that's Junko. That is kind of like it's my favorite alt per Springtrap. But that just leaves Jeff the Killer. And surprisingly, this might be the best matchup for both, in my opinion. Both of them are killers after being burned and being inside of a suit. No, that's Willie. Oh, I don't know why I dislike Willie as a matchup. Is it because it's really boring? Probably, but I'm like, both of them are child murderers that were child murderers with and without being inside of a robot. And both of them strike back in the same place that they were killed. I don't know why I don't like that matchup. I guess I prefer Willie versus Fleagle, and I think I might find that one boring. But anyway, the reason why Carrie versus Scratch didn't make this list is because it's going to be in a different video next year. So, yeah. Both Springtrap and Jeff the Killer are both killers with knives that were burnt in a house or in a inside area. No, not their private. And both of them just kill everyone in sight. This could be explained through Freddy Fazbear. But not only does Freddy have a much better matchup, but it just overall, Jeff the Killer, man, I semi-prefer Jeff the Killer. No, I semi prefer Freddy Fazbear versus Jason Voorhees. Yeah. Anyway, who wins this battle and who's more mobile? I would have to give this one to Jeff the Killer. The pure weight matters on how fast they go, how high they can jump. Springtrap can't even jump, so that would guaranteed I would guarantee give him an edge in weight. But in mobility, I would give that to Jeff. And overall, Jeff does actually has a chance of winning. If it's William Afton, that's a little bit more fair. Even though Springtrap is here. The game does come into play. Springtrap has not survived bullets. So I think that Jeff the Killer would indeed win this fight. Jeff the Killer is more durable. Maybe a little bit stronger. And I think he might be a little bit more knowledgeable on murders. And overall, Jane the Killer could be another option. But I really don't like it. Ghostface, only similarity. White-faced killers with a knife. It just seems very awkward. And Michael Myers, again, already had his matchup this year. Anyway, we can now move on to number 8. And Lucina admittedly had to have been in the season. If Trunks wouldn't have been way over in stats, then I guess Lucina could have fought him. Like, I don't really like the fight anymore, but this fight is admittedly unexpected. So, yeah. I think some people like Lucina, all because it's a complete and utter stomp for Trunks. But her opponent is also an opponent for Trunks. No, it is not Silver. No, it is not Grovile. Somebody might say, why isn't it Grovile? Well, I did say the battle in my Grovile section. So, yeah. You might want to check out that video and what I said to get a better understanding on her matchup. But yeah, Lucina I think the only similarity between Trunks and Lucina are haha time travelers, and that's it. And I should have said that in her opponent's section, but yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna spoil the fight anymore. So, let's see who Lucina will fight today. Shulk versus Lucina. The commenter from the last video, some say that this might not happen, but let's go over their other matchups. Trunks, I do have a little bit of interest in, but not as much as interest as Trunks versus Lucina. Oh, speaking of which, both of them have Trunks as opponents. Shulk, it's pretty debatable if he wins or not, but I say that he loses. Yeah. Then we have Chrono versus Lucina. I think Koro Tomiyama has written some pretty broken stuff for both Trunks and Chrono. I honestly think that Chrono would immediately stomp Lucina. You see, if someone cannot beat a multiple striker, then they're not on universal level, they're not on star level, they're not on solar system level, they're most likely at planet level or at state or planet state level. That's exactly what I gave Shulk. So, who has the edge in durability? I honestly think that Shulk takes it. Shulk, I calculated how many tons of TNT a state can take, And it came out to at least 33 gigatons of TNT. For Lucina, that's realistically close. She's at least continent level. Giving her at least the ability to survive 30 gigatons of TNT. That's very close. Besides the 3 million gap between that explosive yield. But anyway, both of them are sword-wielding characters. They're the main protagonist of a game. Both of them are the guest in a fighting game. Both of them are in Super Smash Brothers. And both of them mess with time and space. No, I'm not making this up. But, yeah. Trunks for both of them is like, for Shulk, it's like, okay, I have interest in it now. But Shulk versus Lucina, I hear it's a massive S. As it's done. But some people might say it's pretty close. Well, if you include Baby Trunks, but Baby Trunks would get destroyed by Lucina. Nice to experience. Sorry, I'm going to bug. Shulk should realistically beat Lucina. Thanks to the explosive yield and durability, and overall his sword. His sword can increase his stats, but in CPU level 9 in SSPU, Lucina wins for some reason. Anyway, tell me, who do you think would win in the comments below? And please, for the love of God, do not say that this fight sucks. Or, I should not like it. But anyway, this is my idea. You can't tell me that you hate my idea and wish it would have never existed. Anyway, we're on to number 7. Since the beginning of this list's production, Scrouge has to be a character that I wanted to put on the list. I don't know who she could fight, but I'm not gonna drag this on for long, and I don't want this to be a super long video, like over an hour long. So anyway, let's find her opponent, and man, the number of magic that she has. Actually, she is very obscure and very new, so it's very hard to find a matchup for her. So there's that. Okay, so the matchup that I chose is Surge versus Fink. This is one of the OKKO ideas, which I like. Both of them are green people, which fight a character which fights robots on a daily basis. Both of them like to go around very fast. And okay, let's talk about their other matchups. Electro, their only similarity is electricity. Livewire is the exact same. I far prefer Livewire versus Electro. Livewire, okay, was close to making the list. But once I figured out that Fink was an option, I was like, okay, this is much better. Bass has a much, much better battle with Metal Sonic. Even though this is a request that I do see often, it just can't stack up to the similarities that Metal Sonic versus Bass has. Anyway, this is very, very cool. This could be 3D. I would prefer it to be sprites. I prefer it to be sprites. But anyway, I like this idea not only because KO and Sonic are very similar is because it's Archie Sonic, man. And that it is confirmed that Surge can keep up with Archie Sonic in power and in speed. No Sonic X, and the cartoons are technically canon, but the Archie Sonic multiverse is complicated. But overall, I think that Surge would win this fight. Actually, I think that Fink would win, because KO is a little bit more durable than Sonic. Well, at least not in his super form. In his super form, it is over 10 times more durable than KO. So overall, I think that Fink should realistically beat Surge. I gotta say, Superman I really need to return to Death Battle. He has a very popular request. A request that is surprisingly obscure. And one which I don't like at all. And it only has 2 similarities. Anyway, Superman is invincible. But can he be beat? Technically. But I'll spread out the information on Superman, which I know. And I know a good bit about him. In his opponent's right. Or his opponent, or who he will be fighting. Yeah. So this might surprise a lot of you. And you not be raging in the comments saying, why isn't it the Saiyan versus the Kryptonian? Anyway. So Superman is one of those characters that is basically invincible. And man, I gotta agree with the people that do say that. Superman only has 2 weaknesses, that being kryptonite and magic. So anyone that has kryptonite and or magic can easily beat Superman. Harry Potter, possibly. Zatanna, alright. Scarlet Witch, okay. Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate would for sure beat Superman in a fight. Thanks to their, magic. He also has an ability that exhausts him, and he can't be able to use it for 24 hours. If you want more information on Superman, go watch Goku vs. Superman 1 and Goku vs. Superman 2. They're 1 season apart. Goku vs. Superman being the season 1 finale, and Goku vs. Superman 2 being a season 2 and just a normal episode. And apparently people are going to be mad and might be raging in the comments below, turning into a Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan Rage if you're Trunks. Yeah, let's do it. Why this? Anyway, will Superman finally be beat? Or will he be standing as the most invincible character in all of Death Battle? The character that has came to Death Battle. Beat so many, well, not too many. He's only been in 2 fights. Anyway, let's see who he will be facing today. Superman versus Sentry. Having him fight Goku again would just be useless and redundant. There are far more better Goku fights out there. And plus, I think the only reason why people want that fight is because they want Goku to win against Superman. Which will, honestly, never happen. And I wish that fight would have never existed. Superman versus Mario is a stomp. Their only similarity is both of them have super in their name and both of them fight a green villain. That's it. And that just leaves Thor and Sentry Thor would sweep Superman right now. So that just leaves Sentry. And this fight is surprisingly even. Both of them are flying people, which are on a team of heroes. Both of them have a murderous side, but both of them are usually kind. And both of them have something that makes them a superhero. Yes, I know that Sentry also has Jiren and also Martian Manhunter, but Martian Manhunter should indeed fight Silver Surfer. Oh, and there's a fight for him, which I don't want him to fight. Vision. Anyway. So, Superman versus Sentry. It's the battle between someone who's murderous versus someone who wants to protect people. It's basically Cole versus Alex, but Marvel versus DC. This is around my second most wanted DC or Marvel matchup, period. I noticed something. We're starting to get X-Men every year. We got one in season 7, we got one in season 8, and now we got one in season 9. So I don't see a reason why there could not be an X-Men in season 10 if Death Battle's still going on. Well, it is. It's going very strong. Anyway, who do I think would win this fight? I'm not entirely sure on a fact status, but I believe Superman takes it. Superman just has the raw power that Sentry just seems to lack. Yeah, I know he semi-survived a hit from Thor, but that was before he got all the crazy feats. Sentry does have a shot of winning, but not as big as Superman. But I say that Superman would win this fight thanks to his utter durability, Kryptonite heritage, Kryptonian heritage, and overall his strength. While Sentry, killer instinct, bow bow bow. And plus, he needs his anger to be Sentry, and I think Superman would easily find that weakness pretty quick. This fight has already been confirmed for a few years now, and y'all should already know who it is if you're a huge Ruby fan and a Soul Eater fan. Anyway, let's see the fight if you're brand new to this channel. Shall we? Ruby Rose versus Maka Albarn. Ragna, will never happen. One, because Ragna would, not be a fitting option for Ruby, in my opinion. And two, Ragna has much better options. Then there's the Ruby Team Battle Royale, which is actually pretty good. Then there's Team Ruby versus Team TMNT. They've done it as a community cast. Brandon Yates has interest in it. And it could indeed happen next year, but Ruby versus Maka has been confirmed. Like, ever since season, 6. So we've been waiting 3 whole years to see it. And I would personally like to see it. Here, Ryuko Matoi would be like a meh, in my opinion. Both Ruby and Maka are both scythe girls on a team of fighters, which go to a school. Both of them learn how to weaponize their souls to fight the monsters in their worlds. Okay, this is gonna happen. This is one of Ben's most wanted episodes. So, for the people that prefer Ragna, yeah, that just won't help. Also, Deku exists, but why Deku versus Asta has happened, so it's a little bit too late for that. So yeah, I did Ruby versus Deku as a script, and the results were a little bit out of head. but the silver eyes only affect the creatures of Grimm and also evil beings. Black blood is not an exception. Black blood is not an evil being and or a monster. So yeah, I think that Maka should win thanks to the soul adagio. But if soul is weaker than Ruby's, then Maka, that's her big win condition. That's like Asta's anti-magic. It's the bread and butter of Maka, actually. Overall, if Ruby's soul is stronger than Soul's, then I think that Ruby should pull off the win. But if it isn't, then I overall think that Maka should realistically beat Ruby. Anyway, let's go on to number 4. Bill Cipher is now stepping into the ring, and overall, this has to be Gravity Falls' very first battle. I cannot see any other Gravity Falls fight being anything other than Bill Cipher. Bill Cipher, the Meteorito, is here, and his option, I am working on who wins, and I did settle that debate. So, yeah, go watch that to see who's matchup and who I think wins his matchup. And also, no debunking videos on that. No debunking. No debunking. Do not press that debunk button. No debunking button. Do not press that debunking button. Anyway, Bill Cipher, the Meat Dorito. Will he win the fight? Will he lose a fight? Well, it depends. But I have weird taste in versus. I don't like a matchup because it's horrible. And I don't like a matchup because it's boring. I don't like a matchup that is popular because it's also boring, in my opinion. Yeah, I have weird tastes. There are matchups that a lot of people don't like, which I like. So, yeah. Who will Bill Cipher fight? Again, go check out the Who Wins to get more information. Okay, the Who Wins. I'm just ignore watch the Who Wins thing. Go watch Gravity Falls to get information on Bill and overall who he is as a character, to get a good estimate on Bill's analysis and who it would be. Well, Bill has a lot of matchups, and I will explain what I dislike and like the one that I chose and why it's specifically number 4 on this list. Anyway, this is the first cartoony matchup on here. Anyway, let's spin the wheel and see who Bill. This was not a surprise at all. Let's go over their other matchups. Loki for both of them would make no sense. Beetlejuice is shockingly even for Bill, but Beetlejuice has a much better matchup. Alistair is my other personal favorite for Bill, because both of them are demons, which just make deals with everyone that they see. That's it. That's the connections. And is overall my favorite alt for Bill. McGrath is one I really don't have interest in. I think their only similarities are one-eyed galaxy beings. Then there's Shovel and Dementio. Shovel and Dementio, I used to like Dementio versus Bill, and I still semi-like it, but Shovel and Dementio should indeed fight each other. That just leaves Bill versus Discord. And surprisingly, this has to be the most even fight on the entire list. I just posted a Who Wins, and yeah, I see that there's going to be a lot of... comments saying that this is incorrect. You should watch more of MLP. But I do know a lot about Discord, so go watch that and see who wins. But I am at the end of this section, specifically number 4. I am going to spoil who actually wins the match. So, anyway. I'm not going to explain the similarities on these two. You can go watch that video. Wait, no. You can search up on Google. Yeah. Or go watch or go watch Red Runner to get an understanding on this match and Gravity Falls. This is really, really close. But I think that Bill would realistically win. And he does indeed win. No, he doesn't stomp or anything. This battle is close. Bill, well, Discord attacks and strength and durability are impressive, but they can't stack up. But they can't stack up to Bill's experience. Actually, Discord's reality-breaking abilities are impressive, but they are nothing to keep up with Bill's utter strength, durability, and experience. I have to talk about this again. Penny Fitzgerald is stepping into the ring. Returning viewers will know exactly who she's fighting. And it's not from the wheel. Okay, it's from the wheel video, but it wasn't on my original list, so yeah, there's that. But anyway, any new viewers will not know who she's going to be fighting. But you might cringe and say that this will never happen in the comments below. But I think it does have a shot of happening. But, are you tired of being curious on who Penny Fitzgerald, the fairy angel thing, will be fighting? Let's see right now. Penny Fitzgerald versus girlfriend from FNF. Some of you might think that this will never happen. Let's go over their other matchups. May is one that I've preferred for a while, but she dies. Shapeshifter dies. Now that just leaves girlfriend, and this is shockingly an even fight. Here are their similarities. And man, are they long. Anyway, this matchup was created by me, so you can thank me for it. Both of them are teenage girls which have a blue love interest. Both of their dads reject that love with the blue love interest. And both of them have a monster inside of them with wings. And also the blue love interest that they have are seemingly the main protagonists. And they both go on journeys with the main character. Oh, and both of them are very lighthearted. So, yeah. It's the battle of the fairy versus the demon. There's nothing else to it. Well, those similarities are long. And, man, their origins, their stories are just so similar. Anyway, this is a pretty even fight. I showed this to a friend, and he was like, yeah, it's pretty even, and it's the best matchup for both. But both of them take everything, but it matters on where the fight takes place. If it takes place in Elmore, then I think Penny would win. If it takes place in the demon realm, then I think that girlfriend would for sure take the win. For you, please do not put girlfriend up against us. I know I like matchups that people don't like, but please don't do this. Please don't do that, man. Maybe Kazuya versus Dante, or possibly any other demon versus demon fight. But please don't do this. Whew. Anyway, who do I think would win most of the time? I honestly think that Girlfriend takes it. Girlfriend's utter power. Yeah, the mods do come into play. So she's been around Sonic.exe, MX, and Gumball one time. So, without the mods, I would definitely give this win to Penny. Anyway, please tell me who you think would win in the comments below. I would love to hear your opinion, but don't put a stick up my butt about this match. With Deku being our latest and Class 1A character, and he's dead now. That's 2 track records of losing. Like, seriously. I want to see if Bakugo can give Class 1A, or overall just My Hero Academia in general, a win. Yeah, returning viewers will know exactly who he's going to be facing. But if you're new here, you might say that this doesn't make any sense. But this fight does actually make a lot of sense. Oh, and the Grand Bowl, you have to stick around, because I'm gonna debunk here some of your words. That's right, I'm going to debunk your words. No, I'm not making that up. Anyway, who will Bakugo be facing, and can he pull off a win? Let's see right now. Bakugo versus Raphael is my number 2 spot. Genos immediately stomps Bakugo. And the Grand Bull said that he only likes that matchup all because of how one-sided it is. Stop liking fights all because they're stops, dude. Yang is some people's favorite, but I think I have a better matchup for her, which I'll explain in a JoJo video. Characters that haven't been on Death Battle that really need to come to Death Battle. And return to character season. Well, I can't do that all this year because Death Battle's coming to a close with Vegito versus Gogeta. No, not the whole series. I'm talking about season 9. Anyway, both Bakugo and Raphael are both jealous of the main character. Both of them want to surpass the main character. And both of them get taught by someone who is attached to the main character. Similarities are mainly about the main character. And both of them have massive anger issues. Yeah, that's the connections. And it works pretty well. No, it is not a stomp for both of them. It's actually pretty close. Unlike another Bakugo fight. Grand Bull, like seriously, I'm gonna make a video on why you have to like fights. Actually, I'm gonna say some of those words now. You can't like a fight, all because it's a stomp. Anyway, who would win this fight? Or who I think would win? I honestly don't know. But I would say that Raphael takes it. Anyway, let's see some honorable mentions. General Grievous versus Dr. Nefarious. I really don't know a lot about General Grievous, nor Dr. Nefarious. It could make the list just because of that. So forever in my heart. Gumball versus SpongeBob. If this were to be my top 10 most wanted death battles, this would still be my number 1 most wanted. But this is forever going to stay my number 1 most wanted in a normal list. but SpongeBob was in this year, up against his worst opponent. Knuckles versus Kirishima. Albarn introduced me to this matchup a couple months ago, so whoever came up with this matchup is not the true creator. And overall, it couldn't make the list just because of Bakugo versus Raphael. It's a more recent My Hero matchup that I've grown interest to. And plus, Kirishima, I didn't know a lot about him because he's more like a background character in My Hero. All Might versus Saitama. This would have been on the list if only weren't for Saitama being literally in the last season, especially in the finale. So I think they're not going to bring him back until like 4 years later. And overall, for his best opponents now, I think that All Might is the best opponent for both. Two heroes that inspired teenagers to become their sidekicks. Overall, I really don't know if it's a stomp. Simon the Digger versus Kyle Rayner. I didn't want to put this one on the list because I really don't know the characters. I just generally like the matchup because it's very cool. And literally, Simon's anime name is literally Gurren Lagann. You replace some letters, what do you get? You get Green Lantern. Seriously, Gurren Lagann versus a Green Lantern or DC. Seriously, I would have thought for this to be the finale, but now we're getting an anime versus anime after anime versus anime. Lucina versus Zelda. I generally prefer Shulk, and it's not the Death Battle cast, but Fire Emblem is going to be on this list later. Well, actually, it's not. I was just trolling you. Like, I'm not trolling you to get in this video. I'm not trolling you to get into this video. I just trolled you about the Fire Emblem thing. Anyway, I really don't get the connections. I just don't have interest in it. Sailor Moon versus Glitter Lucky. They're the exact same person. I'm not even going to list down their similarities. They're just so similar. This didn't make the list because the popularity of Sailor Moon versus Pegasus Seiya. And I didn't want people yelling at me saying that Pegasus Seiya is Sailor Moon's best opponent. But it's not. Shazam is Pegasus Seiya's best opponent, not Sailor Moon. Because, you know why people like that? Because it's a huge and utter stomp for Pegasus Seiya. I really wanted to put Pegasus Seiya up against Pit, but Pit is getting his own cast. So, yeah. Gru versus Megamind. This surprisingly didn't happen this season, and I'm very shocked by that. Two villains at the beginning of their movies, which have an army, but both of them turn into heroes at the end of their movies while rescuing someone. Overall, I didn't want a huge debate going on in the comments, and I didn't want angry people saying that this is a stomp for blah, blah, blah. Overall, I think that Gru should realistically win thanks to his minion army. I'm not going to do this like a normal thing, so yeah. That's just an honorable mention. The popularity of this match is insane. Metal Sonic versus Bass. I just didn't think about this matchup while making the list, but they're the exact same person, like Glitter Lucky and Sailor Moon. Two robots created by doctors, both of them copy abilities, and they fight a blue hero. What isn't there to love? Overall, I don't think that Metal might not be. I think that Metal might not be returning. And overall, I do have interest in the fight. I'm not saying that I hate it, but I don't want. Like I just forgot about the matchup while doing the production of this video, so I couldn't put it there because of the production. Yeah, that was a funny story. Bowser versus Eggman. Yeah, I know this is my number one least wanted death battle, but now I have genuine interest in it. So, yeah. This one didn't make the list because I didn't want people arguing, saying, ha ha ha. Their only similarity is, ha ha ha, people that lead armies. That's incorrect. Both of them are villains of a video game which fight the main character with an army, and both of them get defeated by them time and time again. Anyway, let's see the number one. Number one is a doozy to choose. There's Cole versus Alex, and plenty of more fights that I could put here. Like, there are plenty of things that could be my number one most wanted death battle for 2023, and my number one most wanted death battle for 2023 is not my actual number one most wanted death battle. No, Gummo versus SpongeBob is still gonna hold that spot. Yeah, death battles creators seemingly have weird taste in verses, but at least my taste isn't as weird as theirs. Who hates a matchup that is good? Who hates a rivalry? Who hates a very good rivalry that has been going on for a very long time? Anyway, I have decided to choose the number one spot. And and the number one spot is Alex Mercer versus Cole McGrath. Yeah, there are plenty of other matchups that could have been number one, but Cole versus Alex just beats the interest to me. It got deconfirmed out of this season, and I see no reason why it cannot be the champion chosen season 10. And yes, Death Battle Season 10 is coming. Death Battle is not going to be a canceled show. Anyway, both Alex Mercer and Cole McGrath are both heroes from games which use their power to beat everyone in sight. Both of them have an absorption ability which they use to, have a source of things. Some might say that Cole easily stomps, but I'm voting against that. I honestly think that Alex should realistically win. Yeah, I know. It is pretty close. But I think that Alex Mercer has the variety of ways to kill Cole McGrath. Yeah, I know he has an infinite supply of electricity, so that's why people put him up against Electro. But I still have interest in that fight, and also Carnage. Get it out of here! Imagine if someone came up with Electro versus Carnage. Hey, look, guys! We got the new Alex Mercer versus Cole McGrath pack. You got trolled, bro. What? You got trolled, bro. Anyway, I think that Alex should realistically win. There's no other style for this to be in except 3D. If they give the sprites, then I would be okay with that. But 3D just makes the most sense to characters like Alex Mercer and Cole McGrath. Alex is faster, so I think that he would get a killing blow in first. So, anyway, Alex. Anyway, that was my list for the death battles I would like to see in 2023. Yeah, the honorable mentions might have been worthy. But all the fights that did make the list would make the most sense. And plus, I don't want to be here for a full hour. Like, well, duh. We're almost going to be here for a full hour. Yeah. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Anyway, come back next year at the end of Season 10, where I tell you my most wanted death battles for 2024. Anyway, see you later.